Good morning. It's been a while. Um, a lot have went on. Have to say the major thing really, that's why I have not really post, was I lost my external drive where all my travel videos were. So I'm in the process of trying to retrieve it. And so it doesn't, it's not an easy process, so to speak. But anyway, if you're new to this channel, I'm Janet. I had retired about 3 years and 3 months, something like that, when I was 61. And just got fed up of the corporate world and just tell them that's it. But anyway, so I started this channel years before that to document my travel, not really to do much, but just later on to have a hobby and see what and look at my video later when I can't travel anymore. But anyway, so today's video is about a recap of all the things that kind of had happened when I retired. Maybe some, I don't know if I call it pros and cons, because I just decided, I guess this is unplanned video. Taking a walk today, September 1st, Labor Day of this year, of course, today. It's beautiful 73 degrees in Louisiana. So I'm walking here at the trace. See? And right behind me, yeah. So this is a trace where I live very close by in this walking path, cycling. People run. There's actually a horse trail right around here. But anyway, so I decided I usually think, when I walk around here. So I figure, let me just talk about this retirement. So you find this content appealing to you. I guess I'm trying to still find a niche. And I'm passionate about finances and retirement and stuff. So if you like this kind of content, let me know. I will still put some travel videos if I ever got my hard drive back, or if not, I'm gonna travel to India in a few months, and we'll go from there. So anyway, retirement. The things I wish I'd known before I retire is to, good morning, plan in a way that to make it more tax efficient. Well, I guess we're on a saver mode and we just save. I save a big chunk of I would say I save about 25%. I'm not a big spender, I'm very frugal. So I put a lot on my 401k and some on a, say, savings account or a brokerage account. And of course, I put my max on my Roth. So you do know I save a lot. And I say 25%, that might not even count the Roth. But anyway, so with that said, I never thought that my 401k would balloon like nuts in the last, I would say, 2 years. It went down and I thought, oh man, I lost so much money. You're talking about 6 figures. And then after tariff stuff got fixed, or whatever you call it, it just went up and more. But anyway, so now my problem now is tax efficiency, because I do not like to pay taxes. Who does, right? I want to be as tax efficient as I can when I retire. So that's one thing I didn't know about. So I should say I probably didn't really plan as well. That's why I didn't even think about that. And then next is, do not put all your money in a 401k. And I have friends that put a lot of more money than me in a 401k, and I don't even know if they have a Roth, because some of my friends don't have a Roth IRA, and I'm glad I did. Okay, so 401k, as you know, are not taxed yet. So when you take it out, it get taxed. So don't put all your money in the same investment type. You gotta, like they say, diversify your investment. You gotta diversify your portfolio too. Okay, so what's next? Next is, of course, a surprise, is IRMAA. And that's just kind of like, it's, God, I don't know what IRMAA stands for. It's if you make so much money, I'm sorry, I didn't have it in my head. IRMAA is basically I don't know if I call it a penalty, because you save so much and now you gotta draw it out, so you get penalized. You know, so if you make $106,000 extra, well, if you make $106,000 a year, and when you're on Medicare, you gotta have to pay an IRMAA surcharge. There you go. And the surcharge is not cheap either. So it's like, I think it was $79, I think, if you just go $1 over. I gotta put my hand on the other one. My hand is getting sore and I don't have a stick really. So just be careful. Just $1 over. So if I make $106,001 for that 1 year, 2 years later, you gotta have a $79 surcharge. Of course, it's in there's a step, you know, like I don't know what the next number is, but it goes up. Aside from the $185 I would be paying Medicare, I had to pay that surcharge. So that's something I didn't know about. I guess I thought I did some research, but not enough. And I'm just learning this after I retire. So, another thing is, good morning. So, a lot of these are all finance driven because I'm very finance focused. Like I said, I'm very frugal. And I try to live a minimalist life, although I don't think I am. I still have a lot of stuff. And I'm trying to declutter, but it's a very difficult process. And again, you know, another one is, as I retire, I realize I don't need that much stuff. I only need little things. You know, and I don't live in a big home. I already downsized technically 20 years ago when I got divorced. And me and my daughter moved into a 1,300 square feet home, which has 3 bedroom, 2 bath, nice little yard, not big because I don't like to cut grass and I hate paying somebody to cut the grass. But, you know, all of that costs maintenance money to maintain a home, but 1,300 square feet seems manageable. But now, I still got a lot of this stuff. And I did donate some, give away some, but I still got a lot of stuff. Clothes and a lot of gifts that people gave me. And I felt like these are so precious things that I didn't want to get rid of. So that's kind of like my problem. Y'all help me see what I need to do. Comment down below. How do you get rid of stuff so you can minimize all this clutter in your life? You know, they said less is more, and I do believe that, because a lot of the stuff that I have, sometimes I'm looking at it like, oh, I have this thing. When I'm cleaning out the closet the other day, I was like, oh, never knew I had one of these. And actually I went and bought one because I needed one. I'm like, oh God, really? Anyway, so yeah, so if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of my future video. And also, if you like this kind of content, comment down below what kind of content you want me to put on my channel. And I think I'm kind of gearing towards this one. We shall see. And you know, next one about retirement is boredom, and that's real. I'm telling you, I was elated the first few months. You know, I got all the time in the world. I got, could sit out there and sit for 2, 3 hours on my back patio and drink coffee, watch the hummingbirds, and, because I retired in the spring, so it was pretty. Here in Louisiana, spring and fall. I never liked the winter, so scratch that. Although our winter is really mild, but it's still cold for me when it dips down in the 40s, and I just hibernate. Anyway, so yeah, boredom is real. So although I did know about that, so I decided to start this channel, but that wasn't enough, and I did travel a lot, extensively. Well, not as much as I wanted to, but it still creeps up on you. Anyway, so yeah, so you gotta find something to do. And what I did was I went to volunteer in a senior center twice a week. Not very long, about 2 hours, helping them serve lunch and call bingo numbers, which is fun. And I love talking to the seniors there. Not that I'm not a senior. A lot of them are older than me, and they have a lot of life experiences to share. So that's another one. Boredom. And then travel, okay? This is my go-go year. I love to travel. If you tell me, I'll tell my friend, I'm always packed. Tell me and I'm going. Well, but it's not that easy for some reason. Because you realize if you're on a Obamacare, you gotta limit your income. Can't just draw out money. And so I had to navigate that, that path of not trying to take out most of my money, or majority of my money, or a certain amount of money to travel. Although I had set aside $20,000 a year as part of my budget for travel. But even that, I hate to say this, but I should be blessed. I did put a lot of money on real estate property. I'm talking about real estate property, not just a REIT, okay? A REIT is a real estate investment trust on the market, but I didn't do that. Well, I did some, but not much. But so I have 4 little apartment or condo that I am renting out. So that require a lot of maintenance. So I can't travel a lot. So it's tied me down. Plus the maintenance, and it's not.
Good morning.
Good morning. And it's not, y'all see those cyclists? I wish I could bike like that fast, but I have a bad balance. Anyway, so yeah, maintenance. And instead of, taking that money and travel, I had to go freaking $4,000 plumbing bill. Hot water heater, leak in the slab, blah, blah, blah. So $4,000. Anyway, beside the point. But yeah, that's another thing. You need to have, if you love to travel, now if you don't like travel, that doesn't matter, right? You can just be tied down into your home and you'll be happy. But when you're like to travel, you can't have yourself tied down into things, like my rental. And of course, I also have a cat, Timmy. It's difficult to try to get your friend, although I have a very good friend, Fran. And my neighbor across the street was also nice, willing to help me out, but it just, sometimes, I don't really like to inconvenient people. Gotta move hands again. Yeah, but, they still come and feed them, clean the cat litter box, but I found a solution. I put a cat door out. She loves outside. I just put a cat door out that I can watch him when I'm gone, and he majority stays the days out, and he comes in, you know, after 7 at night, and then the door locks at 7. So once he's in, he's in. He can't go out until 5 in the morning. So that worked out. So I would suggest, if you have that problem, even if you're not retired, even if you're just working a regular job and you want control, and that is you can hook it up to your Wi-Fi, and then you can watch the cat door or something, his activity on your phone. And of course, one of my hobby is gardening. I'm not sure if I would say I'm passionate about it, but I love it. I
Halfway point
accumulated
reached.
so much plant since I retired. Anyway, so yeah, so now I got this 8 feet by 4 feet of vegetable garden, 2 of them that I had to tend to. And so this past spring, I really didn't have a vegetable garden. I just have I just cleaned it up, tilled it, and I just started burying compost in there. Well, I'm burying scrap, meaning creating a compost in the garden itself. So I don't know what you call that process. But anyway, so let everything decay. So it'll be ready in the fall. Yeah, so that's one thing you want to, if you want to travel a lot, that's another thing to consider, is the hobbies that would need a lot of time on your part that stop you from traveling. So what should I do? Let me know. I'm not full-time traveler, so it's something I can't say I have to stop doing, because then I'll be even more bored, right? So anyway, so yeah, so in the spring, that's one more problem with my garden. It's more like I have to water my pots, my plants. But the vegetable garden, no issue, because I don't need to water it. Again, I have friends that came and water it. So, next thing is, some people, this is not my point, because I do have an income in terms of my rental property. Actually, my rental property is already enough to sustain my lifestyle. I'm very frugal. So, I don't really spend more than $3,000 a month. It's actually less than that. And I had I believe I have $800 on top, well, within that $3,000 as discretionary income. So the rental property is enough, but I don't draw my rental property profit. It's really not profit, because at the end of the year I have to wait till taxes clears and depreciate to get that. So I do decide to take some money out of 401k. Not a lot. I can't do that, because I'm only declaring a certain income with my ACA, or the Obamacare, so to speak. And I'm glad that I'm going to 65 next year, and I'll be on Medicare, so I will not be using Obamacare, and this is the time that I could take advantage of rolling over some of my traditional IRA into a Roth. Another thing that I need to mention is RMD. I know there's such a thing as RMD, but before I retire, I did not really pay much attention, because when I retire, I don't have as much money. I do have some. My financial advisor said, oh yeah, you can retire for years, before 61. But I don't think I have that much, because I didn't hit that mark, like they say, whatever mark you want to hit. But anyway, so yeah, so I figure, well, my RMD won't be much and stuff. But not if it balloon like this. Not gonna have to worry about freaking RMD. I don't want to pay as much taxes. And of course, I want to be, like I said, tax efficient. And I want to leave a legacy to my children. So I gotta be able to navigate this RMD, in short, required minimal distribution. Okay, the big RMD, so to speak. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically when the government's requiring you to take money out of your non-tax account, which is, example, is a traditional IRA, your 401k, 403b, probably SEP IRA. Those money are not taxed when you put it in. So now at 73, and I think my age will be 75 if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong, then I have to require, either though I need it or not, I had to take it out of my retirement account. So of course that will be taxed. And by then I had to take Social Security out at 70. I guess I could start taking out 67, but I probably won't unless I'm gonna be sick or something for whatever reason. But it's probably better not take it out, because then my Social Security would be taxed too. And I have a feeling with my rolling over stuff, Social Security might be 85% of it might be taxed. So there's no point of taking it out too soon. Hopefully, I'm thinking it. My way of thinking is correct for tax efficiency. Yeah, so leaving a legacy to my children, so my grandchildren. So I would, have to do some rolling over of my traditional IRA to the Roth. Personal problem, right? If you like to travel, travel before you retire, because you have all this energy. Do whatever you want. Do not wait for retirement to do that. Do not wait. I'm telling you, I did travel when I was working, but you only have 3 weeks out of the year. And sometimes I'm saving those freaking PTOs, just in case I get sick and I need to use it for sick time. So I did use some, but not a lot, not the extent to use that. And I should be smart enough on long weekends like that, like today, like Labor Day, should travel around those holiday time. So those are the things that I wish I know before I retire. Yeah, just a few, maybe a few more, but that could be the next subject on my next video. But for now, I'm walking and that's all in my mind. I'm thinking and stuff. So I figure, well, let me share my thoughts while I'm walking. Anyway, if you like this type of topic, I might just stick to it. That would be my niche, right? So let me know, comment down below. Are you retired? What are the things that you found out when you retire and you kind of didn't expect? It's like, or you knew, but you just kind of didn't know how to handle it. Let me know how you'd handle it. And, and what kind of content do you want on my next video? So, anyway, it's a good day. I'm walking a little bit over a mile now. So, it's going to be another beautiful day. 73 when I left. I would say maybe right now it's kind of getting warmer. I'm a little hot, but it's not really been hot. It's the humidity, I think, here in Louisiana. So anyway, y'all have a good day. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It helps the channel a lot if you do that. Okay? Until next time, enjoy your life to the fullest. Until next time.